What's up, guys? Welcome back to Keto Rewind. I had an amazing surprise today while I went to the doctor to get my lab work results. So check this video out here to find out what happened to me today, in addition to getting great news or a great report on my lab work. First things first, I'm not a doctor, not a medical professional. This whole channel is my experience losing 100 pounds with a ketogenic diet, carnivore, ketovore, and intermittent fasting, and talking with my own doctors. So, I'm going to discuss my results with you. I guess I should also add, don't be like me. It has been 4 years since I've seen a primary care physician or I have a cardiologist because I have a genetic heart defect that has to be monitored. So I've been seeing a cardiologist, but I have not had lab work done for routine well visits and that kind of stuff, a pap smear, all of those things. I haven't had it in 4 years. Why? Because I was morbidly obese, embarrassed, didn't want to hear how fat I was, all of that. You know, if you're watching me, you probably get it. So I avoided it because just to avoid hearing bad news, because it would make it real and I'd have to do something about it. So by not going, I thought I could fool myself. So now I will add, my husband's insurance through his work requires a health screening once a year to get different rates on our insurance. So I was getting a health screen and they would test glucose, belly or waist measurement, weight, and blood pressure, and a cholesterol screen. Not a true test, just a screen. So I have been doing that for the past 4 years, but that was not a formal doctor. It was just like, one of those clinics, very informal. You gotta take it with a grain of salt, whatever. So that's what I have been doing. But I have not had a pap smear and no blood work and no primary care physician in 4 years. Don't be like me. So I went and I was already so nervous, and when I sought out a primary care physician, I wanted a doctor that was familiar with the ketogenic lifestyle. Why? Because you don't want somebody who doesn't support the lifestyle giving you advice, and two, if they're more familiar or maybe even practice the lifestyle, they're more able to give you much better advice. So for me, it was important for me to find a doctor that was on board with keto. So when I went in and I explained my story and all this, she mentioned there's a chance that I'm going to have high LDL while I'm on this journey, and up front, my insurance is crappy. Ugh, it's horrible. I hate the insurance thing. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. But my insurance will pay for blood work, right? But they won't do like the expanded panel, like wicked detailed, unless it's warranted. So she said, well, we're going to run your numbers, your lab work, and if something comes up, we'll run part 2. But they won't allow, they'll either have to pay out of pocket at first for the big one, or just wait and see what happens and go from there. So, but she said, heads up, it's common when you switch to keto. If you're insulin resistant, if you're going through a transition, your journey, that you may have a high LDL. Not to worry about it, and she's not rushing to any statins. We're gonna just let it play out. So I was like, okay, cool. So I had a heads up. So a week goes by, and I get my follow-up. That's this one, these two. I had flying colors lab work. Excellent, excellent. Well done, Jess. Thankfully, because I've not had I've gone for a pretty long time without any formal blood work to check things out. So glucose was 80. I have traces of ketone in my urine. Everything was great. The only thing that came up was I have high LDL. I have high cholesterol. So the total cholesterol, well, let me explain part 2. So that happened. And so I had blood drawn again, and then once that happens, you can have the full panel of the I don't know what it's called, I'm not a medical professional, but the cholesterol numbers where they tell you more details of, what they are. So that was part 2. I was not really concerned. I'd never had a cholesterol problem prior. which is weird because I probably did, but those health screenings things that I did didn't show it. I always showed like 179 as my total cholesterol, but they're not very accurate. They're just a screen. So lesson learned, don't use those things. Or use it as a baseline and have a plan to go have real blood work later, at a later point. So anyways, so I want to explain about this. So first of all, Dr. Berg, a doctor that I follow on YouTube, has 2 amazing videos that really helped put what my doctor said and what he said and explain this whole thing way better than I'll ever explain it. So I'm going to link those 2 videos down below. Please watch them. And then the next part is, so my total cholesterol was 236. The guideline is they want it less than 200. But my doctor, being a keto-friendly doctor, aware of the situation that's going on, basically said a normal doctor would have thrown a statin at you right now. I'm not going to do it. We're going to run your cholesterol panel or whatever it is. I don't know what it's called. Sorry. It doesn't say on here what it's called. It says a clinical report. But anyways, it's a more detailed report about the LDL and what type of LDL I have. Is it the fluffy, buoyant, cholesterol that's more harmless, that has, is just a no big deal? Or is it the smaller, dense stuff that could be a problem if I'm eating like a high glucose diet? So that's what the second time, here it is, where is it? My second report, that's this one. And it was confirmed that I have type A, the fluffy ones that, no big deal. HDL was 44, which is the healthy cholesterol, or, I don't know, the healthy cholesterol is how I remember it. They want it greater than 50, but it was normal, 44. Non-HDL cholesterol was 192. They want it less than 130. LDL cholesterol was 179. They want it less than 100. Triglycerides were 67. They want it less than 150. So score on that. LDL and HDL are actually not even cholesterol. They are essentially boats, or like the transportation of cholesterol. LDL basically takes the cholesterol from the liver, brings it to the vascular system and cells. HDL brings the cholesterol from the vascular system back to the liver and to get recycled or eliminated. Now, there's 2 types of LDL, and the routine blood work isn't going to show it unless you have like really good insurance or have a reason to have the full panel. So that's why the number looks scary at first on the routine blood work, because it doesn't pull it out. It doesn't, it just gives you the one number. It doesn't break it down. So basically, when this happens, that's why I had the second test, just to determine things are okay. Higher levels of LDL with normal triglycerides and normal HDL is not a problem. That's my summary. That's what I have. LDL goes up temporarily because as you burn fat, your body's getting rid of the triglycerides and cholesterol that were a result of being so insulin resistant and morbidly obese. It makes sense. I'm burning like 100 grams. I've lost 100 pounds of fat. It would make sense why I have more boats right now transporting my cholesterol. It's a temporary problem, and your body has to like process it, and I guess a bile or something will like burn it through. I don't know. I don't know the official words. Watch those videos, but essentially it will normalize. But because I'm shrinking down, I'm using fat as a fuel source, and I'm burning fat off my body. There's a lot of boats, so it's actually a good thing. My body's rewinding my health. So that's like, it's ideal. And she was actually super happy about it because obviously my blood work confirmed I've got the type A, which is the harmless cholesterol, which even the type B cholesterol still isn't even a problem unless you're eating sugar, you're high stressed out, you're like all the stuff that you're not supposed to be doing. If you're doing that with that, then we have a problem, and you should definitely get that checked out. But it's not a bad thing to have high HDL type A cholesterol on a ketogenic diet. And stay the course, trust the process, and it'll all even out, and I'm not worried at all. My doctor wasn't worried. She did not put me on a statin. She just said, keep rocking keto and everything will be fine. So in 6 months, I have an appointment to have it rechecked, and at that point, it should be normalized. I should be at my goal weight. Things should be golden by then. So for right now, I'm super proud of the hard work that I've done. And I want you to watch those videos if you're in the same boat. I was morbidly obese. I had a lot of fat to burn up. My body is transitioning right now, and I have my glucose is nice and low. You know, I'm not giving it any reason to, I'm not inflamed. I'm eating a very clean ketogenic diet right now. So life is good for me. So I'm going to keep ketoing on, and I will give you a full update in 6 months. I believe it was July or August, I forget, where my next appointment is. So stay tuned. I will have a part B to this video. If you're new here, you like these type of videos, want to see me hit my goal weight this year using a ketogenic lifestyle, intermittent fasting with a little dabbling of carnivore too, hit that subscribe button down below. Now, the only thing I have done in the past 4 years is see a cardiologist for my heart defect, and she's the one that even introduced me to keto in the first place. I'm writing that wrong now. So anyways, fast forward 10 months on keto. I have the balls now to make my appointment and get my lab work done, my pap smear, the whole thing, everything I'm behind on, I'm getting all caught up. And as of right now, I'm officially caught up. So, and two, I normally always have, for as long as I can remember, you know, the past 14, 15 years, they have switched out the blood pressure cuff and put the extra large one on my arm. Well, my arms are, I want to say, normal size now, so I get to have just the same one that everybody else uses, and that was emotionally a win for me, because it's one of those things you sit there and you see them take off that cuff, and then get the ginormous one on and put it on you. Never really, and then they wonder why your blood pressure's up, you know? After they've taken your weight and changed out the blood pressure cuff. Oh, gee, I don't know. So anyways, I've consistently needed in all of my follow-up appointments the regular blood pressure cuff. Great news, it's a non-scale victory for me. So I wish I would have been brave enough to go to the doctor when I first started back in February of 2019 on like day one. I wish I would have had a proper result and not the health screen that I had done to know how bad things really were, because up until that point the health screenings showed I was fine, but there was a lot more going on that wasn't showing up. So I wish I would have. So please, if you're new at this journey, go get your blood work, have a baseline to go off of so that you can see for yourself how your health is just transforming and getting better. So that's my wish. Please don't be like me. Please go to the doctor annually. Don't miss those visits. I got lucky that nothing's wrong with me, but that's not always the case for people. So please, please, please don't be like me. Go to your doctor and find a good keto doctor that supports this. So I got nothing but high fives today. And, you know, I got all caught up on everything. I have no more doctor's appointments. But it's a refreshing feeling knowing that I did it. So I'll see you at the next video. I'm Jess. Go be great.